it's Debbie Dews here from Home Pressure Cooking. Today we are making something fun, and first I want to thank Gail and Amy and Laura, I believe her name is Lori. Hi. Thank you for having me back. Apparently I must be an okay house guest because you guys keep inviting me back. So it's my pleasure to be here. I'm actually the first food vlogger of the month to host their 101 author of the month, okay? I guess they're gonna have a bunch of us food bloggers that have written cookbooks that are tried and true recipes, and I'm the first one. And this is my cookbook, okay? It has over 70 recipes from main meals, appetizers, desserts, and more. And it comes in a digital. So what is really cool about that is you can download it on your phone, and when you're at the grocery store, you could just pull it up and get your ingredients that you need to make the recipe. But all my recipes are super traditional and simple, and I don't use anything off the wall crazy ingredients. So you guys can grab a copy of this at hpcrecipes.com, and I know you will enjoy it, and I hope you grab your copy today. So today what I'm going to share is a Martha White chocolate chip brownie cake, all right? I'm using my 3-cup flour pan that has a beautiful design on it. I know a lot of the ladies in the group already have it, including the admins. So many people love this pan. I think people at first are a little shocked when they get it because it is small, but I will tell you, you can make so many awesome things in here. 8 egg omelets, meatloaf, cornbreads, cakes, you name it, you can pretty much get creative and use it, and it definitely feeds 4 comfortably. I fit 2 pounds of meatloaf in this little 3-cup pan, so don't let the size fool you. All right, now I want to talk a little bit about Martha White mixes because I know you can't get them everywhere. I don't know if they're a southern thing, but Martha White brand has been around since like the 1800s. And the fella Richard from, I believe it was Nashville, he started off with just flour, and then from there his brand just escalated. It was in the 1970s when they started coming out with some of their fruit flavors. You know, they had a tester in the kitchen, I believe her name was Alice, and the secret is their rising flour. And I think Pillsbury owns their company now. I'm not quite sure. They also have an affiliation with the Grand Ole Opry. So it's been a long-standing, tried and true brand. I love them. I think you can doctor them up to really make them your own with fresh fruits or, you know, whatever you're using. Today I picked up strawberry cheesecake, a regular strawberry. For my recipe today, I am using chocolate chip. They also have lemon poppy seeds and cornbreads, and I want to say like 6 or 7 total. I bought mine at Walmart, so you might want to check your Walmart. This whole pack does fit in the 3-cup pan. Also, another tip for you is Jiffy makes 7 and 8.5 ounces of their mixes, which are, again, this brand has been around forever, 1930, it says on the box. Blueberry, corn muffin, yellow cake mix. They even have some cool little recipes on the side of their boxes that I actually haven't tried, so I just noticed that today. So I'm definitely gonna try one, and what we're gonna do is I'm using a brownie mix from Betty Crocker. Oh, I also want to note that all these you could get for less than $1. So, you know, a lot of people say, matter of fact, I think it was yesterday, I received a comment on one of my recipes that I made in the pan, and the lady said, "It sure does look beautiful, but I'd be more impressed if it was from scratch." and I scratched my head and I said, it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't I want to use one of these when essentially everything you use from scratch is in these boxes? So, you know, if I can cut corners and time and not compromise the taste, I'm a cheater. What can I say? I have baked from scratch many times, and that's great. If that's what you do, you can do that, and you can definitely make, you know, little cakes in these as well. I've also used my 7-inch bundt pan, which Gail or Amy or one of the gals here, Laura, that's her name, they're gonna leave links because I really slashed prices for the group today. You can get the 2-in-1 bundt pan for $13.99, which I've never lowered it that low. You'll never see it again. You can buy this pan, and then I also have a bundle with the trivet and the silicone mitts for I think 20 bucks. So grab them now for gifts, whatever you like. The links will be in there. I really love experimenting, and these just make it simple for me. I also found out that Martha White, they host a contest every year for the most creative that you can come up with a recipe using their mixes. And I'm gonna say this one's a winner. This is the third one I'm making today. I wanna show y'all what it looks like when it's done. Can you see that? That is the brownie. There's 3 layers to this actually, and it's very heavy. It's heavier than I thought it would. There's the brownie mix and the chocolate chip mix, and I made one for my son and I to test. Matter of fact, I had showed Gal. Then I made another one because I'm going to a graduation party this afternoon. So this is for the party. I'm gonna set it aside, but let me tell you, this would win the Martha White contest. I have no doubt. So I'm gonna have to find out where those are because I'm entering. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix up the brownies. Let me try to get a little organized here, guys. I don't have much room to work with. What I'm doing is just mixing the basic brownie mix according to the box. So that's how simple that is. I already cut it. So we're just gonna add that to a bowl. Now I'm gonna have leftover brownies. So what I'm going to do is also make some brownie bites using my egg bite mold. They turn out awesome. So the kids at the graduation party are gonna be happy. There's also a special on this, 10% off. These are very reasonable as well. They come with a lid that if you wanna store your baked goods, you just clip it on. You cannot bake with this lid on. And to be honest with you, I don't bake with any foil on top of my goods, nothing. If they come out a little damp on top, I just simply blot them with a paper towel. But typically I have found once I take them out and set them to cool, that moisture just, it dissipates. So I'm gonna keep out the chocolate chip mix. I'm gonna put my cookbook away. The reason I offer it digital too is because it's cheaper and it's more accessible, as I mentioned, when you are at the grocery store to pull it up. I mean, you really don't wanna, you're taking extra steps if you wanna bring the book with you or you're writing it down. Just pull it up on your phone and scroll through. It's awesome. I do it all the time. Because I don't remember every single recipe I make personally, and when I'm at the store and I say, oh, I wanna make my taco soup today, well, I just pull it up and make sure I get what I need. So, all right, let's get started. It calls for 2 eggs. Typically I like Duncan Hines better, but I couldn't find the brownie mix in that today, so it'll be fine. Betty Crocker is good too. It's just a personal preference, all right? So I'm also gonna use my spurtles to mix, which is another special. You see the slots in there and a little curvature. It's great for getting around the bowl. So 2 eggs. What else does it call for? 1/4 cup of water, which I have here. Oh, and I forgot to mention, duh, I'm making it in the Ninja Foodi today, which I know a lot of the gals and guys here in the group are now starting to get the Ninja Foodi, which is basically your pressure cooker on steroids. You can crisp, broil, bake, melt cheeses. I absolutely love this thing. It has been a lifesaver. My family prefers it over the Instant Pot. Instant Pot's been very good to me, but this is even better. So that's just my opinion. Some people may disagree with that, but okay, 1/4 cup of water. These are measuring cups, by the way. They have little markers in there. And then we've got 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. Okay. And I like to hand mix my baked goods. It's just, again, it's a personal preference, and especially when I'm doing them in the Instant Pot, because I feel that they can really rise a little too high if you use an electric mixer or a KitchenAid. All right, so that's good. We're gonna set that aside. And now we're going to mix the chocolate chips separate. You get that bowl. The beauty of the Martha White is most of them just call for 1/2 cup of milk, because as I said, their secret is some self-rising flour that you don't need to add the eggs. So 1/2 cup of milk. I'll get my other little spurtle. Now this one gets a little thicker. If you want to double this, I would suggest you use a larger pan. It came right up to the pan, it didn't go over, and that thing is heavy, and it was so good. All right, so that's it. That took a second. So now I'm gonna add a little crushed walnuts. Like I said, you can make these your own, and I think I'm gonna do it to the chocolate chip. Not too many. If you do decide, if you're using the strawberry mix and you wanna add in fresh strawberries or blueberries, I would just add maybe, a minute time to that. This one I did cook longer, but if you go on my website, Home Pressure Cooking, you will see all the variations of recipes and the ways I've done them in the 3-cup pan. All right, so we got that. Now we're gonna prepare the pan. I love using a Crisco or a Pam non-stick butter. And I just lightly spray it, make sure you get the sides. It will literally pop right out once it's cooled and you put your plate on and you flip, it just goes plunk right out. Just make sure it's cooled. I've never had the problem where I've done it and then all of a sudden it's just crumbled on me, because I'm pretty cautious. Just be careful when I flip any cake pans. I usually put a towel underneath the pan, and a lot of times I'll just keep it on the trivet and then put the plate over it and flip it over. That way I make sure that I don't burn my hands, because the pans can stay hot longer, all right? I'm gonna do the chocolate chip on the bottom because that is more cake-like opposed to the brownie, and I just think it turned out perfect, so I'm gonna go with that. You're not gonna add the whole thing in yet, just a little layer on the bottom. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is kind of just jiggle it around. It goes right into each little petal. And that's what's going to form your pretty flour. Now if you have a thinner consistency cake, you don't even have to do this. But the Martha Whites are a little thicker. And now I'm going to do the brownie. Just going to pour that right on in. All right. We're going to do the same thing. You're not mixing it together, you're just getting a layer on top of there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Doing that again, finishing up that mix. Like I said, don't worry about getting it so neat, because when it bakes, it all kinds of comes together, but when you cut into it, it's got a beautiful layer. All right. And pour more brownie on top. I went right up to the very top. Do one side, and then I'll do the other. These are awesome though for parties. So definitely make sure you give it a try and you will be the hit. And if the Martha contest is by you, feel free to use my recipe. Just say where you found it. Now what I'm going to do is add a cup of water. Anytime you pressure cook, you always want to add a cup of water. Now some will say, well, can't you bake this? Absolutely. I didn't test this one for baking, but if I was to bake it, I'm going to guesstimate I would do at least 35 minutes opposed to like the 26 that I'm doing today. All right. Then we're going to lower that down in the pot. Make sure it's center. Put your pressure cooker lid on. This is always awkward when I'm facing an awkward way. All right, there's a little arrow that kind of meets you to turn. All right, make sure that it is on seal. We're going to hit power on. We're going to hit start. Pressure cook. It's on high. You want it on high. And our time is 26 minutes. After the 26 minutes, you are going to do a quick release. It takes about 5 minutes to come to pressure, all right? And like I said, you quick release it, remove it, let it cool, and you'll be ready to flip that over. Now I'm going to show you real quick what I'm going to do with the egg bites. What I'm going to do, so I've already prepared my egg bite mold with a little light spray. And then what I'm going to do, then I'm just going to spoon them right on in. And again, these can go right to the top. These are so good with a little powdered sugar on them. When I made these the first time, my son, well, first he noticed they were dark chocolate. And he says, I don't like dark chocolate. And I said, just try them. You don't know until you try. Well, guess what? He ate 6 of them. Is that right, Jack?
Yep.
Yep. I had 1. So, needless to say, his liking for dark chocolate changed with these. Now, I don't know if he would like a dark chocolate cake, but he certainly didn't mind the brownie bites. And I could add a little walnuts to these as well. And I'm going to pressure cook these. I'm going to put the lid on to keep them fresh while this is cooking up. And then as soon as my cake is done, I'm just going to pop these in. And then everything is going to go on a nice platter tonight to bring to the graduation party I'm attending. All right, so I'm just going to fill these all the way up to the top. I think you're getting the gist of what I'm doing. So 1 brownie box made half a cake in here, and it's giving me enough to make some mini brownie bites, which are quite high when they come out too. So these are definitely filling desserts. Half sometimes just satisfies me fine, and usually that's all I get to. By the time it's my turn, where did everything go? So I think that's it. Like I said, I'm gonna put the lid on it, and I'm just gonna pop it in the fridge for the next, now you see, I don't know if you guys can see, but this already counted down. So however long we were on is how long it took for that to come to pressure cook. And I'm gonna guess 5 minutes. So, and that is cooking while it's building pressure. All right, so that's that. These will go in the fridge when all is said and done, and that is finished. You guys did see the end result. And it is fabulous. It is so delicious. It is really good, best warm, I will say. You know, before I go to the party, I think I'm just gonna stick it in the microwave for like 2 minutes, just so I bring it nice and warm, all right? Again, Debbie Dews here from Home Pressure Cooking. I do have my own home pressure cooking ninja group. If you would like to join there, if you're just getting, you know, familiar with your ninja pot, it's a great group. And there's always lots of questions and answers right away, usually by my members who are all learning as well. So it's a lot of fun. Don't forget hpcrecipes.com, where you can go and get my digital book. The book will be immediately delivered to your inbox. And one more thing, I forgot to tell you. I made a custom cover for the Ninja. So if you have the Ninja, this is also on special. And here's the beauty of it. There's a secret top where the lid goes. So you put it in there, it's nice and cushioned. You put it over the Ninja and you zip it up, and everything is safekeeping. It doesn't get dusty. I know you use your pots a lot like I do, but I'm old-fashioned and I like them covered. I don't like appliances on the counter, and I like to protect them from my dog and the dust and all that good stuff. So this is cool too. My son actually designed it. He is the one that came up with the clever idea to do that, and I'm very proud of him and his creativity because he helped me. And thanks for tuning in. I hope I wasn't too long-winded. It's always a pleasure. I can't wait to see the next author of the month, and I'll be tuning in for them as well. See you later.